Hi, and welcome to Tally Talk. I'm Liv.
And I'm Ben.
And on this episode, you'll hear our carefully considered and not at all random thoughts on a show we like. There will be spoilers.
This podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and we're giving ourselves an age rating of 15 and above. But you're welcome to make up your own mind. Listener discretion is advised.
Yep.
It's that time again.
Mm-hmm.
We're rapidly running towards the end of this season now.
We are. They're even starting to talk about the weather turning.
Yeah, that's when you know it's coming up. Oh, the winter's coming.
It's really strange because spring is definitely here. It's getting warmer, and yet they're talking about the storms coming in and it's getting colder.
Yeah. So yeah, we're on episode 20 of season 13 of Oak Island. So I reckon we've got 4, maybe 5 episodes left. So they're running out of time to find this treasure this season.
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to say, the last episode's usually a bit of a dud, isn't it? Because they just run through everything that they found. Like, we know, we've seen it already.
That's what they call a free episode. They sit and they talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like the first episode is a bit that way, where they're like, hello, this surprisingly large fellowship that's got a load of people you've never heard of before.
Yes, lots of self-congratulations.
We're so awesome. Here's why the rest of the seasons weren't a waste of time. This episode, do you know what the title of this episode was?
Something about a gnome.
No.
Oh.
A gnome?
Oh, well, I don't know. I was a guess.
Okay. I thought you genuinely thought it was...
No.
The Sands of Time.
Oh, because of...
Sand. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they found some sand.
In the swamp.
Yeah.
Right.
Sandy swamp.
Mm-hmm. And they're hoping that it verifies the time.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really pushing it, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Like the sands
It
of
took me a
time.
minute to go, what?
It's still
What is that
better than
related
the
to?
axis of medieval. So yeah, shall we start in the money pit?
Yeah.
We're in the money pit. We're only going to be here. We're here for a good time, not for a long time, because not much happens.
Yeah, this is when they're talking about the weather, isn't it? And they want to get some more done before the weather turns.
Yes. We want to drill another hole because the last 2 were absolute shit.
Yeah, and then they're talking about all the issues that they're having because of all the holes they've previously dug and the backfill seeping over and causing collapses and things.
Maybe we shouldn't have just randomly chucked junk in all of the holes that we made.
Yeah, I really think they should have just left the caissons down. Pay a little bit extra, leave them down there.
At this point, suddenly they're like, we don't want to spring for the extra.
Because this presumably also puts pay to their honeycomb idea that they had a few seasons ago.
I mean, I still feel like this is a delaying tactic. I think they could drill through that perfectly fine. Because what have they put down? Like titanium rocks?
It's not drilling through it, it's the collapse around it.
Well, maybe if they just got a giant case on, like, half a mile wide.
Right.
Is that possible?
No.
They need extra bracket. They'd have to wait many days for that.
Yeah. Island wide.
Just dynamite it repeatedly until they get down to 300 foot and then declare that tiny speck over there was probably once some treasure.
Right, but actually this is a thing.
Okay.
Because quarries exist.
They do.
And they're huge.
They are.
And deep and wide. Can't they just quarry it?
I think the thing is, quarries are dug out of rock. Whereas this is mostly a sort of honeycomb of gaps and turned over soil.
Uh-huh.
So...
There's rock at the bottom.
At the bottom, yes.
Right. So you don't think they could just do quarry stuff?
I don't. I feel like they're sort of doing that now. But it's been so butchered now that it's just...
Well, I thought I had a solution there.
I mean, I don't know. What do I know?
But the thing is, your logic is logicking.
Yes.
So...
Yes.
Maybe not.
Yes, quarry is for rocks. This is for dirt.
Well, I mean...
And wood. Lots of wood.
No, not always, actually, because think about brick quarries. They're digging for clay.
Yes, I suppose.
And sand quarries. They may be called beaches.
Neither of which relevant here.
Well, I'm just
What you
saying.
don't get is manky old wood quarries.
But I'm just thinking that there might be another option that they haven't thought about.
Or they've thought about it and they've gone, well, that'll be too decisive. We can't do that yet.
Yeah.
They'll get to that in season 32.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, would you like a general summary of what happens in the money pit?
No, I watched what happened.
Okay.
They did some digging.
They did no digging. Well,
No.
they did a bit.
They spent ages choosing the next location because of the aforementioned backfill issues.
And basically amounted to, Marty wants to drill the Peacock, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and they were saying that Dr. Spooner and his team have been very interested in the Peacock for a number of years because they've identified that could be a source of where the metal in the water is coming from.
And we finally found out what the Peacock is. It's an area of disturbed soil that seems to have been disturbed. Yeah. It's not... Yeah. So actually, we finally find out what the Peacock is, having forgotten that the Peacock existed. But Marty loves the Peacock. It's his thing, isn't it?
I don't know why, because it's fairly...
He thinks it proves his theory about the offset chamber.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see, I guess.
And I guess Marty's the boss, so...
They did the sonic drilling in the Peacock and got nothing.
Yeah, because they drilled, then put the sonar down, and they were like, oh, look, we've intersected a passage, and there's man-made stuff down there, and then they show us blurs.
Yeah, and they're like, look, that's metal because it's reflective.
They circle a
it?
vague blur and go, in true Dan Blankenship style, that's man-made.
Yeah.
And then every time they drilled with sonic drilling, they found nothing. Not even a void.
No.
And they left it, and I was like, well, that's done then. And now they're back.
Yeah, because they can't drill anywhere else. This is virgin ground.
Oh, yes, virgin ground. Apart from that it's been turned over, right? Apart from that it's disturbed.
And they've sonic drilled it, so... Apart from that.
Basically, what that implies is it's nowhere near where anyone thinks anything is, so no one's bothered to drill there before.
Yeah.
So, let's
including
go there.
them.
I enjoy that their creative naming. This shaft is Peacock 1.
Yes. I like how everything's got a 1, but they haven't done a 2.
It's in case they have to do a second one.
Yeah, but they haven't. They just keep naming another thing and then putting a 1 at the end.
At least it's not Peacock 8.357.
See, that would make more sense to me.
Of course it would. Peacock 0.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so that's it, really. They
just did a lot of talking.
Yeah, and then they started
They
drilling.
did start, and then they were... I caught a glimpse of them rinsing off the auger, and I was like, oh, that's why everything is so wet. Like,
they
so
spray
wet.
everything.
Because not only are they using water to help them drill, but they're then using it to clean off the drill bit.
Also, lest I remind you, winter is coming.
Yes.
So it's probably wetter.
Winter does not affect the amount of water coming out of the hose.
No. That's another t-shirt slogan.
So the money pit's a bit dull, really.
Yeah.
It's a lot of talking.
Oh, well, we moved a whole new case on.
No, we didn't.
We
Okay.
went to the Peacock.
Yeah. Okay.
Shall we dash to the boulder?
Yeah.
So Boulder Dash. And your one of your favourites, the Spoonernator. Mm-hmm. He's arrived at the cradle of bouldering.
Yeah.
So what does our Spooner have to say today?
I don't really know. Didn't he climb down into the hole?
Yeah, so they passed him up some examples
Right.
of the
yes.
mortar-like thing.
He's like, I only need a small sample. Fiona's like piling it in. He's like, stop.
He was like, that is more than enough. Yeah. I don't need these like spadefuls.
He's literally going under the world's tiniest microscope.
I'll be level with you. I'm going to throw most of that away.
Yeah.
Because they want him in to sort of give his expertise on the concrete type that this is. Because they've got this idea of dating the concrete by its makeup because of the different types of concrete over the years, which really, really doesn't pan out, does it?
Well, I don't know.
Well, we go to see it.
Oh, yeah. That was right
Did
at
you
the
watch
end.
this episode, Liv?
No. I did. I was mostly focused on another aspect of the Boulder Dash.
Okay.
And Dr. Spooner, because they question him around the silver, because he's had now some silver hits
Yeah.
rather than they made it seem like there were lots, and now there's like a few.
It was mostly lead, wasn't it? And then occasionally he mentioned a bit of silver.
I don't know. Anyway, they ask him about the silver, and he's like, well, I mean, there's hardly anything there. I mean, it could be something beneath, but he hasn't been focused on it because it was so small, and yet the team are like, silver though, don't forget about the silver.
They're really pushing it, and they're like, it could mean this, and he's like... Yeah. I can't rule it out.
Yeah.
Because what was that thing like? He was really bending over backwards to kind of accommodate them. Because they were like... He was like, well, if some sort of something silver, like, say, a candelabra, had been laid there for a bit, it would still retain... this. So I'm like, how small was this reading of silver?
Well, this is what I mean. Like, he's sort of forgotten about it because it was so tiny.
And Alex is there to be his dad's mouthpiece, going like, well, my dad's theory that there's a shaft, that's legit, right?
Yeah.
We can't rule it out.
And then Fiona sort of lends him a bone and is like, well, it does go deeper, so maybe. And
it's at this point that Marty's like, I just want to dig it.
Anyway, so that's what I was thinking. But yeah, they do the soil... clay, sand testing.
Yeah, because Spooner gets he's excited about the structure of the cradle, because he's like, I've never seen anything like it before, and I've seen like everything. Yeah. This is stone and mortar and stuff. I almost certainly wrote the book on it, or at least own the book, like Laird.
Scissor book.
Stoned with Ian Spooner. Mortar like cement with Ian Spooner. Yeah. Dr. Ian Spooner, sorry. So yeah, we to the war room, and they've got the results.
This was hilarious.
Yes, and they're really excited, and it's like, sorry, it's not cement.
Oh, I was going to go with the date range.
Oh, well, yes. So they start off by saying it's more like a sand-silt mix, but... So it's not cement, but it has been man-worked to sort of refine it down.
So this is the thing. These are natural products, but they don't occur together in this form naturally.
Yeah, well, they do, but they would have higher other things present. So they're saying it's been refined down to remove some part of it. They
were very careful.
Yes. They were basically, they were like...
They would not let the team run away with an idea.
This is not cement. So then they started a mortar-like substance, was what the narrator was calling it now.
Yeah.
So they've binned cement very quickly. So then so yes, it was manipulated to remove impurities was the terminology. So, it's been manipulated.
Yes, and then the date range is between... Hang on. The date range is between 1200 and 1800.
Yes, Emma was like, well, based on its makeup and its composition, it's pre-1800s and post-1200s.
I was like, brilliant.
Really going out on a limb there, aren't we? To be fair, normally she just goes with pre-1800s. So she's like, this probably
both ends.
Yeah, we can definitely say that people wouldn't have done this before 1200. So we got a nice 600-year date range. And Ian Spooner, because they both gave their expertise.
Yeah.
Spooner's like, this is before the mid-1700s. I'm like, that is somehow less specific than Emma. Because it's just before 1750.
And the team get all excited that the experts agree.
We agree that it existed before today.
And I was thinking, have they agreed? Like, I'm not as convinced.
Yeah, they are really pushing it. Like, I know Oak Island has always been take liberties with factualness and really jump on any sort of even hint of a scrap of possible. It's so in your face this season.
And especially in this conversation, I'm glad you agree. And I thought, I would have said that they don't disagree. You know what I mean? Like, there's
they
a
are
bit
both
of a difference.
So vague as to not be contradictory.
Yeah.
It was, but I enjoyed that in its own way.
They also had someone else, another woman. I don't know who she was.
She's one of the lab assistant-y people, I think, that we may have seen at some point.
They're just talking about her.
They
like,
need
we know
another
who she
person
is.
to go, I am stern, and if I say it earnestly enough, it must be fact. But Marty, like I said, immediately wants to drill through it.
Yeah, he's like, this is all well and good, but what's underneath?
This is a treasure hunt after all. Damn the science.
Yeah, hurry up and dig it out.
And like Fiona and Laird are like, well, we want to dig down, but not with a drill. We want to keep troweling it.
And she's like, we are taking big stones out from the bottom. I'm like, I don't think that's quite what he means.
No, because you're making a lovely little collection in the corner.
You are
to make a
keeping
lovely
every stone.
Leaving no stone unturned, uncatalogued, and unfiled.
Do not throw them across the land.
Alex, do not throw that in the sea! We need to give it a lovely categorization number.
We can rebuild this if we try hard enough.
What they're doing is they're lifting it, categorizing it, and then secretly building another feature on the sly at the other end of the island with it. It's all cyclical. It's this one feature that they've just moved around the island each season.
They'll build the well out of it.
Yeah.
From lot 5.
To be fair, they did really well to not let us notice the giant boulder that they plonked on the cradle like 2 seasons ago. But that was the boulder dash. But there was quite a lot.
Yeah.
Now, I'll give you a choice, Liv.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the swamp next, or the lot 5 detectoring?
Well, on account of I just mentioned the lot 5 area,
Okay.
let's go there.
Zoom! We dash from the boulder to lot 5, and Gary is a detector in.
Yeah. So they also talk a lot about the guy who owned the land before.
Yes. What was his name?
Something. Anyway.
Robert Young.
They say how he got a lot of stuff wrong.
Oh, yeah, they give him a good shoeing, don't they? I'm like,
But the thing is, right, he got experts in, including Laird.
Yeah.
So he wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
The experts he got in were wrong.
I'm going to touch on this because I think Marty was having a bit of fun with this.
You reckon?
Oh, yeah. Laird was not. So, yeah, we'll get to that. But
Well, let's get to it right now.
Well, no, we have to do some setup first because there's stuff that happens before that, you know.
Fine.
So they are scanning near the shore, right next to the circular feature. So between the circular feature on lot 5,
What are you talking about? The rounded feature?
they called it the circular feature. So the rounded
The
stone
big
feature,
indentation.
the one where they found a boatload of beads, I think, and the shore.
Well, it's not a circle anymore, is it?
I'm just going by what they
So this
said,
is
Liv.
like the original not the original landowner, the landowner that they bought the lot from.
Robert Young,
right. He thought this was interesting and he got Laird in to look at it. And Laird was like, nah, that's nothing.
Yeah,
but Robert Young put a load of stones around the top of this circle indent area to try and mark it because he still thought that it was important. And then they come along, this team, the Fellowship, buy it, and they're like, ooh, this is important. And Laird's like, yes, this is very important. Let's dig it out.
Yeah, and in the gap where they're scanning today, there is a stone well that was previously found, that they've previously found 13th century artefacts sort of vaguely near, but that Robert Young had assessed by experts as being 20th century.
Probably
this
Laird.
well. Yes, probably Laird. And so they were just like, well, this is worthless, ignore it. And they put some plyboard over the top.
So that people didn't fall in the dip.
Which is very kind of them. Health and safety, plyboard.
Yeah. Well, no, there were planks.
Planks and plyboard.
Yeah.
Not a fence, not a warning sign.
Well, I mean, you've got to be careful on Oak Island. That thing is like a cheese
It is actively trying to claim a 7th victim. So, plyboard. It's fine. Not even yellow plyboard. Just brown.
You're very moany. I thought it was quite good.
Okay. They just chucked a board on the top.
A family member of mine has previously fallen down a well. Therefore, I'm quite pleased.
You, of all people, should expect them to do better.
No, I think it is quite
Look
good.
at the garden shaft. It's like metal, bright yellow. It's locked over.
Before they just filled it with water.
And rocks around the side.
Put some pond plants in it and stuff.
So, in an auspicious start, Gary gets a ding on his metal detector and they find naffle.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, no, you missed out the bit where he gets shoved down the hole to do that.
Oh, yeah, he jumps down the hole to... Yeah, because Marty's like, oh, get down there.
Oh, that was so funny. So, yeah, he shoves Gary down the hole to scan it. And, like, it's not very deep, maybe a metre deep.
After removing all the safety equipment that you were so pleased was there.
Yeah, anyway, so he's there scanning and he's like, oh, no, blah, 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 not really sure. Why don't you come down? So then Marty climbs down. He's like, oh, no, it's very boingy. The leaves the leaves are bouncing. I think it's going to go. And he climbs back out as quick.
Yeah.
And I thought, you are a scaredy cat. You sent him down. You sent what's his name
Gary.
down? Gary down, and you're too
Our
scared to go down
precious
yourself.
Gary. Yeah, he hops down there and scampers back out of there like a weasel up a drain pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I'm too precious for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, there's feet depth of leaves that I might fall through.
I suppose, if I'm switching to your side here, if they'd have put a proper cover over it, there would not be meters worth of leaves.
Precisely. But you would have thought the plyboard would have kept that out.
Okay, well, again, it didn't quite go all the way across, did it?
Yeah. But as immediately upon finding a ding but nothing, they're like, there's a lot of spongy leaves. We need to dig this all out. We'll get the archaeologists in, so we'll have it done in about 7 years.
Yeah.
But
So that's when they get layered over.
I feel like really they investigated this enough for Marty to have an excuse to basically point at Laird and go, ha ha, told you so, you were wrong.
What, in this episode?
Yes.
They investigated it enough.
Yes,
Right.
because so they get another ding around the edge of the hole, and they find an hook,
Yeah. Good old
which is
Gary.
a hook to you or me, or possibly a pintle. He gets everything's a pintle this season.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we had a season of purely ox shoes?
Well, that's because they found an hook, and it turned out to be a pintle.
Yeah, and so now when all you've got is a hammer, all you see is nails. But yeah, they then do to the lab.
Yeah, and it turns out it's a hook.
Yeah, it's a hook. And then they're like, see, for lifting things in and out of a well.
Yeah.
But they date that through the carbon, like not the carbon dating, the ISO
XRF.
XRF. It's clean iron. That is, you'll be shocked to learn pre-1800s, but probably mid-1700s.
But
And
they
then-
don't actually know.
No, but that is enough for Marty to be stood there going, "Hey, Laird, you were wrong, weren't you? We've all, like, you guys said that this was modern 20th century, but this evidence I think is sufficient for us to say you were wrong, right?" And Laird is just going, "Yeah," and Laird tries to sort of get ahead of it by going, "But it's exciting, right? I'm excited. Wells are great for stuff."
Yeah.
But like that was really, I felt like that was another example of what I've decided is totally a rivalry.
But also, sort of going back way to the beginning of this section of the episode, Marty and Gary are talking about that being a ridiculous location for a well because it's so close to the sea.
That's a good point.
Like, why would it even be a well here? That doesn't make any sense. So before they even scan it, before Gary even gets shoved down the hole, they're already going, I don't think this is a well.
I love this image that you've got because you're making it seem like Marty literally pushes him in. Get in there.
Well, you know, metaphorically speaking, he
Metaphorically.
gets shoved down the well.
Yeah.
That's not a well.
I just wrote on here, Robert Young is getting a shoeing.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
They even put his picture up, go, look at this prick.
Oh no.
The poor bastard, he's dead, they've bought his land, and now they go, nah, you're an idiot.
Then it's all Laird's fault.
Because they sort of said, like, everything that he's touched on this island is something a bit wrong about it. I'm like, mate, was the negotiation with his estate or something really difficult and they're
Yeah.
bitter? Because
It actually might have been.
this is a real hatchet job. Because we never hear anything bad about Blankenship or anything.
No.
And obviously, Fred Nolan's son is on the Fellowship, so he's
He's all right now.
yeah, he's fine. But yeah, plainly Robert Young, not their flavour of the week. This poor bastard.
I know.
I mean, to be fair, they're implying that he was wrong about everything, so maybe they're right, but still brutal.
So now we're going to have a whole new archaeological thing for next season.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to start that now.
Well, I mean, it's only leaves. How
Because
hard is
Laird
it to
actually
dig?
says, well, we're all booked up for this week, so maybe after that we can start on this.
Come back next season as they dig a hole into some leaves, and what do you reckon they're going to find?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's all been. It's all
They'll
gone.
find something. They'll
bits
find
and bobs.
bits of tools
Iron.
that they can be like, these were used for tunnelling.
Bits of wood that could have been a box.
A whole ship. Someone stuffed one down there. Or they'll be like, this is the flood tunnel. I don't know.
Because on Xena Halpin's map,
Yeah.
this... Oh, wait, I might be getting confused. Is it the Boulder Dash, actually, on Xena Halpin's map that's something about a December triangle?
Yeah, it's the December triangle.
Oh, so it's not this bit.
What I think is great is that on there's the hole under the hatch.
Yeah, this could be that bit, couldn't it?
Yeah. Although they've put it's not really a hatch. They've just put some plyboard on it.
Yeah, but it could have been a hatch.
The hatch could have rotted away.
Exactly.
Where
Not
does it
all
go?
wood lasts forever.
Where does it go, Liv?
I don't know.
Does it go to a magical dimension where all the TV money is? They dig all the way down, and it's to the people that live in the hollow earth.
Yeah.
No?
Shall we do the last bit?
The last bit is the swamp.
The swamp.
Really ending it on a glamorous note. So they're in the southwest corner of the swamp, plainly a bit not owned by Tom Nolan.
Yeah, we've moved away from the north.
Billy's in the swamp, so that's allowed. And they're looking for the sand-covered road in Czech's name of episode, Sands of Time.
Yeah.
Tick.
And they find some sand.
Sand and cobble.
Yep.
Sand-covered
They're
cobble.
very pleased. And then they do some mapping with some bits of wood with like material tied to the end of it to stand out.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, look, it's a line. I bet if you go over there and then you see poor old, what's his name?
Rick.
Yeah,
Ricky.
Pacing. I don't know what.
I don't know how that was because he was
looked
doing.
like he was about.
He was doing a Faulty Towers, a Monty Python Ministry of Silly Walks malarkey.
Anyway, he counts to, I don't know, 14.
Judging by his results.
He counts to 7, then he turns back to Gary and says, "Keep me on a line." And then he counts to 7 again, and then he digs, and then he finds 2 stakes.
Well, yeah, because they find a boatload of stakes this episode.
Yeah, but 8-sided and 5-sided next to each other in a hole.
Why don't they call it like the stakes are high or high stakes or something like that?
Yeah.
Because they find a long log or stake.
Without
it's
an
really
end.
long, without a pokey bit.
Yeah.
Without a pokey bit. And then they find 2 stakes, a 5-sided and an 8-sided next to each other.
In one hole, yeah.
Which is a first.
Yeah.
And then it becomes not much that rare because they
First,
find
a
loads.
second, and a third.
Yeah, so they find like 7 or 8 stakes, but that's where he predicts them. So they've started seeing them next to each other. But their theory is that the 5-sided stakes and the 8-sided stakes are from different time periods because they're building this
multi-generational.
Yes, the multi-generational activity, but to the same goal in the swamp is their new theory that they've mentioned.
And they think the road leads somewhere. But they don't know where.
Technically, all roads lead somewhere, even if it's just to the end of the road.
I read a book once called The Road to Nowhere.
I'm on the road to nowhere.
Okay.
There's a song.
Yeah, but I was telling you about the book.
Well, I was illustrating it with song. Now tell me the rest.
Well, I don't really remember.
Right.
So
you looked at me and when he's singing, I can really cover myself here by throwing him under the bus. That's on the road to nowhere. Zing. So yeah, they find those. They pace out that thing. I enjoyed the statement that this is the first time we've ever been excited to find wood in the swamp. And I'm like, that is bullshit.
Yeah.
You are excited about every single tiny fragment of wood you find anywhere.
Yeah.
They come out with these statements.
I know.
I also enjoyed that earlier on when they were talking about the dirt in the cradle. And Jack Bailey was like, is there any way we can find out when the dirt was made? Like, no. The beginning of time? Oh, it turns out, to be fair, why didn't they go with that? We've tested it, and this dirt is from 7 million years ago. Oak Island is even older than we thought.
No, what they would have done, they would have tested it and gone, it's pre-2000.
This is pre-1800s dirt.
So,
It was between the Big Bang and today. Anyway. But that's kind of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't end with a bang, but with a sandy whimper.
Yeah.
And I guess that leads us into, what did you make of this episode?
It felt like we had some really good bits and then some really bad bits. You know, like
We didn't even get a preview.
No, we didn't. And the money pit was a lot of talking and not much doing. But then
Just for a change.
the lot 5 well thing and the boulder dash were quite good.
I mean, I enjoyed the good shoeing that Robert Young got.
Yeah, and then so I don't know, highs and lows, I think. So I am going to give this episode 6 out of 10.
Oh my god. When for anyone that hasn't got a reference, that is very low because 5 is your minimum, right?
Yeah.
6 at oof.
I know. I don't know, if you're going to do it, at least do it properly.
Okay.
What about you?
I am giving this a modest 2 posthumous shoeings out of 7.
That's even lower than my score.
Yeah, it was. Well, proportionally. All of my scores are lower than yours, more or less, by proportion. Yeah, but yeah, it was a bit of a duff. I mean, if you like steaks, this was one for you. If I'm honest, the only thing that got this up was my moderate amusement at the character assassination of poor Robert Young. Young Robert got an absolute kick in. And there's definitely a vendor. And of course, I'm feeling more and more validated in this thing that I'm manifesting, which is the Laird versus Marty showdown rivalry.
Yeah.
It feels true.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm getting more on board with it.
Are you Team Laird or Team Marty? Because I have a feeling I know which one.
Go on.
I think you're Team Marty.
I am!
And I'm Team Laird.
What?
I'm the
He's
right
a bit
side.
of a wet blanket, though.
No, he's due process and proper actual process.
No.
Doing things properly.
God's sake. Just dig it.
I mean, admittedly, none of this matters. So yeah, I guess dynamite it for
And
fun.
Laird is wrong a lot of the time. I like Fiona.
Okay. Yeah, but to be fair, Fiona is on Laird's team.
Yeah, but you said Team Laird or Team
All right,
Marty.
Team Archaeologist or Team Blow Stuff Up.
Okay, if it's Team Archaeologist or Team Treasure Hunter, I would go Archaeologist.
Okay.
But if it's Laird versus Marty, I'm choosing Marty.
But they're the heads of those teams.
I don't care.
You make no sense.
You
this
make
is like
no
your
sense.
scoring system. It makes no sense.
It does make sense.
No, it doesn't.
I don't really like Laird, so...
Oh.
What?
What's he ever done to you?
He is not providing appropriate entertainment.
I find it very interesting.
I find it infuriating.
He is the one voice of reason on this show, apart from Fiona.
He has got very slopey shoulders. He does not take responsibility for anything.
At least he's willing to put a date on things that's not just pre-1800s. Also, he has a vast collection of very specific literature.
Yes.
And
Anyway.
on that note, that's all, folks. If you enjoyed this mad bickering, please do rate and review us on your platform of choice. We would really appreciate it, and it might chill us out a little bit. Or make us bicker more, who knows.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Tell us which team you're on. Team Laird or Team Marty, or maybe even Team Liv or Team Ben.
Team Liv!
That would be a very, very exhausting team to be on. And anyway...
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye!
Toodaloo!